Good morning from sunny Orlando. It is shot day. Thursday, February 5th, 2026. And getting ready to take the shot, but first, gotta weigh in. Daily weigh in. So, you don't want to see this in his underwear, so let's look at the scale. Okay, shot time. Grab your vial. You pop the top. Wipe the top of it. Wipe your injection point. Grab your syringe. Put the air in it. Make sure there's no air bubbles. Shot days are exciting. Why are they exciting? Because the fear, the thoughts of the food noise coming back and wanting to pay out and stuff like that. So I started having those right towards the end of the week, when the shot starts or the medicine starts to kind of subside. So I get excited for shot days because it's like getting that boost coming back. So weighing is done, shot is done, we're gonna eat, then we're gonna go to the gym, then Jiu Jitsu. Okay, for morning breakfast, I typically do either 2 to 4 eggs, depending on how hungry I am in the morning. I'm trying to get my protein in right off the bat, start logging protein. So I do the 2 to 4 eggs and a turkey sausage. Sometimes I do 2 eggs with 2 slices of protein bread, soba. Or I'll do a protein shake. So getting ready to make some eggs, turkey sausage, and solo bread, and that's gonna be this morning's breakfast. Let's do this. Turkey sausage, 2 eggs, tablespoon of butter. protein bread. So 10 grams of protein per slice. So I'll go ahead and track it. You guys let me know if there's better ways of doing this. The macros are wrong. I know the frozen patties, I'm not crazy about that. Using frozen foods, rather use something more fresh, but it doesn't always work out that way. And it's not always cost effective, so do what we can. But let me know what you guys think. So start off with eating, then I'm gonna check my sugar and take my allopurinol for gout. Gout sucks. So I gotta take the medicine to make sure I don't get a gout attack, because that is painful as hell. And expensive to get rid of it. I've tried to wait a week or so for the gout to go away, but it is painful. So I usually go to Central Care and it'll cost me like $500 to get the medicine to get rid of it in a couple days. So I'm gonna eat and then grab my Jiu Jitsu stuff, and then we're off to the gym. See you soon. I'm finally headed out to the gym. I was up this morning at 7:30 and I had to work after taking the injection. So I finally got out of the house. It is now 10 o'clock, 10:12 to be exact. And I gotta leave the gym to go to Jiu Jitsu at 11:30. Today is Thursday, so it's chest and biceps. So it's gonna be tight. I don't have to really rush through it, but by the time I get to the gym, it should be about 10:30. I usually take about an hour for my for weightlifting. So first thing I do is when I go into the gym, I get on the treadmill and I walk for about 10 or 15 minutes just to warm up and kind of get going. And then I go to like I said, I was doing chest and biceps today. So I start on Mondays is chest and bicep. Tuesday is shoulders and triceps. And Wednesday is back and legs. And then I start again on Thursday. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, same thing. And then take off Sunday. I try to do 4 to 5 sets of, like today for bench press, of each exercise. So 4 to 5 sets of bench press, and then I'll do a different exercise, either pec flies or incline dumbbell press. And I'm thinking about increasing to 3 exercises, and sometimes I do if I'm in the mood, or if I have more energy. I'll try to do a 3rd exercise, and then I'll go to biceps, and I'll start with dumbbell curls, and typically I will do hammer curls. So I'll do dumbbell curls and the hammer curls. Sometimes I'll do the easy curl bar and do some curls that way, but I also do 4 to 5 sets of each of those. So 8 to 10 sets for chest, 8 to 10 sets for biceps, and the same thing for triceps, shoulders, and then back and legs on Thursday. So really quick, I wanted to kind of talk about this because it just came up yesterday. I haven't experienced this since I started this whole GLP-1 journey, November 3rd. I was on Facebook yesterday and someone posted her experience. She just put a post, somebody who's doing GLP-1s. First time I seen this person's post, and and she posted like a quick video of her before and after, but she just put on there something about Ozempic face, and it was like she said like a joke, like they said I would get Ozempic face, and then the after picture, she's like, I'm glad I did, or I'm glad I got it. I don't know, something like that. Paraphrasing. But I just posted, I hope I get Ozempic face. I didn't know so many people were so passionate about this. People started commenting on my comment how horrible this Ozempic face is. And obviously I'm not a doctor. I don't know how factual that is. My understanding so far of quote unquote Ozempic face has to do with rapid weight loss. And the reason why I see it that way is because I grew up watching bodybuilding. I still do, once in a while. I'm not don't watch as much, but as a kid, I really liked watching bodybuilding. And I remember Dorian Yates, one of the best bodybuilders of all time. By the time he would get on stage, his face looked like it was, like big holes on his face, right? So when this whole Ozempic face thing started, my immediate thought is, well, this is what happens when you do extreme weight loss, whether you're losing really fast or you lose fast, because you don't start seeing that until you are below your weight. So like these bodybuilders are going down to 5% body fat, or trying to go to 0% body fat. So they're going beyond what their body fat percentage should be. UFC fighters the same. You see Conor McGregor when he's getting weighed in the day before the fight, and he's just sunken in his face, and you would say they look horrible, but we understand that they're doing this for their sport, and that the very next day they rehydrated and ate food, and they're getting their nutrition back in. So, but man, everybody was really adamant that this is the medicine. And the medicine causes your face to look a lot older. Now I'm 52 years old, and I've been obese for a better part of my life, all my life really, but with the exception of 6 months here and 3 months there, where I was actually a decent weight, I guess, or a weight where I was slightly overweight, but my skin was resilient in my 20s and early 30s, but ever since it's not. So every time I lose weight, my face starts to droop, my chin gets that, my neck gets that, turkey neck. I'm 52 years old, so my skin just doesn't go back, and I look older, and I have gray hair. Because they were saying, some people were even saying that everything, like, you just look older. It's not just the skin, but it's other things. I don't know. I don't think there's any truth to that. That the medicine's causing that. I believe that has to do with rapid weight loss or excessive weight loss, or both. Losing the weight really fast. Same thing with a lot of doctors talk about hair loss. I feel like that is very similar too. They say that you experience hair loss when you're losing weight really fast. And what they explain, what I've heard doctors explain about that, is that you're depriving yourself of nutrients. You're in a excessive caloric deficit. You're not getting the proper nutrients, and your body reacts to that, and it reacts by it just doesn't get enough in the body to maintain your hair. I don't know, this is all new to me. If you guys know, comment, let me know if I'm wrong or what, but I don't know. So I'm here, EOS Fitness, getting ready to go inside. I try to do some recording in there so you guys can see the exercises that I do. I do have a little bit of background on weightlifting. I did weightlifting in high school, and I've lifted weights on and off when I'm in good shape. When I've lost some weight, in good shape. When I've lost some weight, I get motivated. I go back to the gym. I lift weights. I start gaining weight. I stop going to the gym. So on and off, my whole life, since I was 10 years old, I've been lifting weights. So this is not foreign to me. It's not, I don't feel uncomfortable at the gym. But I am fully aware that you can get injured really bad at the gym. So I always start really light, no ego, just light and slow and steady. So every time that I come back to the gym, I do like a full body. So like let's say it's my first week lifting weights again. I'll go in the gym and I'll grab dumbbells, light dumbbells, like 20, 30-pound dumbbells, and I'll do dumbbell curls, dumbbell presses, like all in a row, like full body in a row. I'll do squats, shoulder press, dumbbell curls, tricep extensions overhead, one arm at a time. And then I'll lay on the bench and I'll do dumbbell presses. So I do that typically the first, sometimes a full month, if I actually go the whole month, when I start out, to get my body reacclimated, my muscles reacclimated to lifting weights, because you don't want to I don't want to go in there when I'm trying to get better and then injure myself. So slow and steady. Psychologically, as far as the emotions, I do definitely, when I come back to the gym, I will sit here in the parking lot, and there are times where I have sat here and then talked myself into going somewhere to eat breakfast. This is before GLP-1s. And then there were a lot of times where I would go inside and I would feel embarrassed. And the reality of it is that no one in that gym even knows who I am or will remember who I am, more than likely. It's in my head that there's people in there looking at you, oh my God, he's gaining weight, or man, that's a big dude, like, and I don't feel like I belong. I still feel that way, like, I go in and I still have those thoughts. Now they're less, and what I try to do is tell myself, you belong, you pay for this gym, this is your gym, and there's nobody here but you. So I put on my headset and start listening to music or a podcast or audiobook, and I'll tell myself, look, you're here all alone. There's no one here but you. And I know when I start, I don't do it as much anymore, but when I started, I would try to do the weights in areas where I couldn't see myself in the mirror. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it worked for me, because whenever I gain weight, I don't look at myself in the mirror. And I've gone months without looking at myself in the mirror. And when I start losing weight and I start looking in the mirror, I immediately see what damage I've done. Like, I'm like, wow, I didn't even realize. I just didn't realize I was that overweight. So I try to stay away from the mirrors just to keep, to enjoy the time that I'm at the gym, as opposed to sitting there going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Wow, I can't believe it. Dang, I can't believe I'm this big, So that's just a little pro tip, if that's the thing for you. Just, but I ever since I started taking this medicine, I've enjoyed the gym. I enjoy it now more than I have in years. And so far, so good. So we'll see. All right, I'm going inside. All right, just got done with the workout. Feel good. Headed to Jiu Jitsu. I didn't take you guys inside the gym because it's super busy in there, and people we all get upset when somebody's taking too long on a machine or whatever in the workout when it's busy and you're trying to get in there and get your workout and then leave. It's already 11:47 already, so I'm running late to Jiu Jitsu. But anyhow, this is EOS Fitness. I don't know how big EOS is. I don't know if it's Florida, nationwide, worldwide, how big this gym is. But their little, mascot or whatever it's called, I don't know what it is, a little blue squishy thing that they have all over the gym, with a little head sweatband thing. And they have this poster when you walk in. It says at the bottom on the right, it says willpower, right? And that's the message that they're putting out there. And those words are interesting because, willpower is subjective, I would say. If you're 6'5", 240 pounds, 30 pounds, slim, athletic, you've got the physique coming from athletic parents. Certain people are just born with certain genes, and they're still putting in the work. I don't take anything from them. That's commendable, and it takes willpower because there are other things that we can be doing in our day other than working out, or other things that we can eat other than healthy food. So you do have to put some effort into it, but there is an absolute difference between someone who, for example, even if you're not talking about obesity, I grew up with friends that had a hard time gaining weight. They were very, very thin, and it was tough for them. And they tried and they tried and they tried, and their bodies fought them. The more they would eat, and the more they tried to eat, they still didn't gain weight. So it was the reverse of what I was going through. I was trying not to eat. They were trying to eat more. And so it's our genetics, right? It's our genes. Their effort was to gain weight. My effort was to lose weight. For somebody who's athletic, I'm sure we all know somebody who doesn't even who can't sit still, right? Do you have those friends that you're trying to get them to relax? You're like, come on, man, let's just sit down and watch the game. And they're the type that you're having a get together and everybody's sitting down watching a football game or something, and they're always standing. They rarely ever sit. That's their gene. That's their makeup. My wife's a lot like that. She rarely ever sits down. When she walks, normal walk is like way faster than most people.
So she doesn't have to make an effort to stand. She doesn't have to make an effort to walk faster. She's already walking faster normally, right? So there's a certain level. There's levels of willpower, certain levels of willpower, and thank you, and thank you. So sorry about that. So yeah, there's certain different levels. It's a spectrum of what willpower is. So when I walk in, I see that, and I'm like, I wish I could explain. I could literally show what it takes, the effort it takes, especially off this medication. When I'm not on the medicine, when I'm not taking the medicine, the amount of willpower that it takes for me to get into that gym, remain through a full workout, and leave. And people always say, oh, but don't you feel good when you leave the gym? Let's be honest. Yes, 100%. But most of the time when I'm off the medicine, I'm leaving happy because it's done. It's over. I got it done. It's done. And that's not a good happiness. Now, because of the medicine, when I leave the gym now, I don't feel the happiness that I used to feel, because it's not a satisfaction of it's over like it used to be. Now is maybe I could have done a little bit more. I could have done a little better. Next time, tomorrow, I'll work harder on that. Things of that nature. I'm actually more in tune with what each individual exercise, each individual rep, each individual set of exercises that I'm doing, and how much muscle pump I got, how much blood flow, how much exertion. I track my exercises, so and my heart rate, and how much I'm lifting. And by the way, I am getting weaker. I have gotten weaker. I've lost 22 pounds so far, and since I started, I've probably dropped about 20 pounds of strength since I started. And I know a lot of people are going, oh yeah, that's the medicine. Look, it happens every time I lose weight. Every time. Medicine or no medicine, every time I lose weight, I get weaker. So, I do understand. I'm well aware that what a lot of people are reporting is that the new medicine that comes out at the end of the year or next year, that's already in the gray market, a lot of people are taking it, retatrutide, because of that third agonist, the glucagon agonist, that you're able to maintain more muscle during weight loss and strength. So I'm a chicken when it comes to trying things that are not FDA approved or I don't even like taking medication, period. This is obviously well thought out for me. I'm taking this medication because I am it's risk reward, the really risk, right, is the risk of taking the medicine, but is also it's a bigger risk to not take the medicine, stay obese, stay fighting this, and end up with kidney disease, or like my father passed from kidney disease, my mother passed from liver cancer. So these are things that, and they had type 2 diabetes from their 40s, and they passed in their early 80s. So, and they struggle with that, right? Insulin, injecting, medications, doctor visits, all kinds of other things, from blood pressure to swelling and veins, all kinds of stuff, right? So this is, I'm evaluating risk versus risk. Which one's worse, right? So far, the risk for taking the medicine appear to be much lower than the risk of not taking the medicine. Obviously, that could change tomorrow, right? A report can come out that, people are passing away from this or developing some sort of other cancer or something, in the masses. Every medicine is going to have adverse effects on a certain percentage of people, and I get that, and that's a risk I'm willing to take, once again, because of what I just mentioned. So anyhow, so I'm almost to Jiu Jitsu. I'll bring you guys inside and we'll see how some of that is, and I don't know, we'll see. All right, talk to you guys soon.
Yeah?
That was good acting, right?
Like, it wasn't me, it's Professor Mike that was wrong.
I hope it's not you. So I go here, right?
Okay, that was Jiu Jitsu. Jiu Jitsu. That was the last of 3 rolls after class, and now we're headed home to eat lunch. This is my big meal of the day. I try to make it. It's now almost 2 o'clock. It's 1:57, so I am ready, hungry. Now the difference between before this medication and now is that typically, if I even went to class, I would be leaving now and going, man, I'm so hungry and I worked out so hard today. I deserve Taco Bell or McDonald's or Crystals, or if I wanted to be really good, I would say I'm going to Chick-fil-A. Yeah. So headed home to eat something at home. And sometimes I go home and I'll have the protein shake if I'm not quite ready to eat. I'm hungry now, so I'll probably eat, and then I'll have the protein shake later on. And then I've been having a fruit. I'm craving fruits. That's crazy too. I'm craving apples and oranges, which is insane. I haven't eaten this many apples in my entire life, and I've been having apples like once a day or every couple of days. Now I wonder, and if you guys can tell me this, I'm eating an apple like right around 7-8 o'clock when I'm winding down after I take a shower, and I'm just watching TV with the wife. I'll eat an apple. My question is that, I feel like that may not be good because it's sweet, high carbohydrate, so late at night, so late in the evening. Now I go to bed around 10-11 o'clock at night, typically, sometimes midnight. So it's not like I'm eating it and then I go straight to bed, but I'm eating it and sitting on the couch watching TV, and then I go to bed. So it's not like I'm eating it and then I got the rest of the day walking around and whatever. So I'm wondering if that's a bad habit that I need to not get used to. But it is. It can become a habit because sitting down to watch TV typically prior to having taking this medication would be like, oh, let's get popcorn, let's get candy, or let's order out pizza, so I'm eating an apple, right? I feel like, how bad can it be? But if I'm trying to be healthy, change lifestyle, do I not want to go down that route? I know I saw a bodybuilder. I went into his nutrition place a couple months ago or a month ago or so, and the guy was a bodybuilder that worked there, and he kind of wrote out a meal plan, and he was having me do carbohydrates midday, like now, and then no carbohydrates the rest of the day. Now, I'm not a bodybuilder, so I don't know if he was giving me that diet plan based on the way he does things, or if he was giving me that diet plan based on this big guy that's trying to lose a lot of weight that's on a GLP-1. So, hard to tell. Hard for me to know. Anyhow, so headed home. I'm gonna bring you guys along for lunch, and pretty much a day. So see you guys in a little bit. Okay, I just got done finished making my chicken. What I'm having for lunch is going to be chicken breast tenderloins, tomatoes, and avocados. These avocados don't look very good, but I think they're okay. Anyhow, I am going to put in the video here somewhere my daily macros, what I'm eating. I'm not sticking to anything specific. The thing that I'm trying to concentrate on the most is going to be the protein, because that's what mostly everybody talks about. All the doctors and all the research that I'm doing is, to keep 1 gram of protein per pound of weight that you want to end up being. So if you want to, if you're 300 pounds, but you should be 150 pounds, then you would be eating 150 grams of protein. if you are, from what I've heard from the doctors, if you're a woman and you're light, you're supposed to be 110, 120 pounds, to at least try to get to 100 grams of protein per day. It is tough, even just making the calories because of the medicine. It's we're trying to eat more. New concept, crazy, right? Normally we're trying to eat less. Now we're trying to eat more. So I'm trying to get to higher calories. Like right now, between breakfast and lunch, I'm at almost 1,000 calories, and I still got another 700-800 calories to go for the day. So I'm still gonna have to eat, obviously, a couple more times. Another meal, which I don't like to make it too big. It's already 3:45, so I don't want to eat late. So for me, late is past 6 p.m. So we're looking at another 2 hours that I'm probably gonna have more chicken. I could have it now, but I want to spread it out. So in 2 hours, I have more chicken, and the protein shake. I'll probably have that like an hour after that. Try to space it out a little bit, and then I'll have my apple later on in the evening, like at 8 p.m. or something like that. So we'll see how close I can get. I try to hit it. Now, today's Thursday, tomorrow's Friday. So today and tomorrow, I want to be a little under my daily caloric intake. Why? Because it's Super Bowl weekend. So, and my son's birthday's Saturday. So we have Saturday events, Sunday events. We're going to have a party here both days. We're going to go out to dinner with my son for his birthday. And then for Super Bowl Sunday, we're going to have a get together at the house. So there's going to be all kinds of crazy food, right? All the fatty foods and the cakes and all that stuff that goes along with parties. So before medication, and I'm going to keep saying this, I'm going to keep saying how things were and how things are, because that's the most important part, is how things have changed. For me, obviously everybody reacts to this medication differently. For me, when there was a party coming up, or a holiday or a birthday or special event, just about anything, right? This weekend, let's say fights, so we're gonna have fights at the house, or we're gonna go out for fights. Prior to the medication, even if I was on a diet, even if I was dieting and I was strong on it and I was doing good, if I gave myself the break that I was gonna eat, that I didn't have a food rule, right? I could eat whatever come the weekend or the event. So, and I would tell myself that. I did this 1,000 times, right? Thousands of times. That I would tell myself, okay, next Saturday I can break the diet and have a little cheat day, cheat meal, cheat whatever. It never failed. I was good, and then about 3, 4, 5 days before the actual event, I would be like, well, I'm gonna eat like crap on Sunday anyways, so I might as well go out to McDonald's and get 3 breakfast burritos and 2 hash browns and a milk. And then 2 hours later or 3 hours later, I'm like, haven't had Taco Bell in a while. Since this is cheat weekend, I might as well have some chalupas, right? And then a few hours later, I haven't been to Crystal's in a long time. So, man, I've done that so many times. Sometimes I would go to 2 places at the same time. Hey, McDonald's, give me some chicken nuggets, 20 of them, barbecue sauce. Drive over to, with French fries, drive over to Arby's, same parking lot pretty much. Grab me some curly fries, maybe some mozzarella sticks. I know, sounds crazy. It is crazy. It's sad. Anyways, so I'm gonna eat, and I'll see you guys probably around dinner time. A couple hours. All right. Okay. Time for the protein shake. It's 5 o'clock. So this is the protein that I started using, and it's pretty good. It was all right. I kind of got sick of it. Didn't like it after a while. Like, it was really good at first, and then kind of got old for me. But I would still get it again. Still good. This is a protein that's made by Dr. Rocio Saz Whalen. She's triple board certified endocrinologist in New York. Really pro GLP-1s. She knows a lot about it, and she has a book out. It's called Weightless. I bought it. It's phenomenal. Highly encourage anybody that's in this journey to purchase that book and read it, or get the audio. I get the audio and play it at the gym, or wherever I'm at in the car. So bought her protein. Hers is 120 calories for 24 grams of protein. She does have 4 grams of fiber, where this one has 1 gram of fiber. So fiber's good. It does taste good. The thing is that it's pricey. This bag was $69, I believe. It's probably gonna last about a month, maybe, if I eat protein chicken once a day, 1 scoop a day. So that's the only, yeah, this scoop is pretty big. So that's the only negative. It mixes really well. It's nice, and I mean it's a good protein. If I can afford it, I'll buy it again. But already with medicine and everything else, it's kind of tough. But 8 ounces of water. Mix it in. This guy is a game changer. If you don't have one, get one if you're gonna be doing this. I highly suggest it. It's that simple. This is the vanilla flavored. She's got chocolate as well. Just 2 flavors right now, I believe. I could be wrong, but I believe it's just 2 flavors. Chocolate and vanilla. And cheers. That's delicious. That's it for now. Now, have another meal. Probably eat the same thing I ate for lunch. I'm here about another hour, 6:30, and then the apple later on. And that should be good for today. I don't know if I know I was leading that direction, talking about the we're having parties this weekend, my son's birthday, and then the Super Bowl. So those are going to be high calorie days for sure. And what I mean by high calorie, in comparison, they're low calorie days, but in comparison to before the medicine. But ever since I've been on the medicine, I'm trying to maintain between 16 and 1900 calories. That's about 1,000 calorie deficit per day which equals to about 2 pounds a week. So yes, because 3,500 calories equals 1 pound, from what I understand. So 2 pounds would be 7,000 calories. So it'll be 1,000 calories, 1,000 calorie deficit per day to make 7,000 calorie deficit at the end of the week. So if I'm gonna have a 2,200 calorie day
on Saturday and a 2,200 or 2,500 calorie day on Sunday. Look, those are still below my maintenance calories in comparison to before I started this medication. A high calorie day was like 7,000 calories, 8,000 calories, even 10,000 calories. When you go to McDonald's and Taco Bell and Arby's, and Crystals, Pizza Hut, and right, you're talking at least 5,000 calories, and that's well above my maintenance calories of 25 to 2,800 calories daily. So even though I'm going to be above my deficit on those 2 days, I'm still going to be below my maintenance calories. So, and what I'm doing is, so what I do when I know I'm going to have days like I did that during Christmas. I went on vacation for 8 days to Puerto Rico, and I ate pretty much 2,100 calories, 2,100 calories, half the time that I was there. So the other half, I was staying below. Actually, I think, that week was a wash. So I probably hit like 2,000 calories to 2,200 calories daily. And in those 8 days, and I left to Puerto Rico at, I think it was 2:31. I can't remember. 2:31, came back at 2:31, or 2:30 something, I came back at the same weight. First time ever for the holidays. I literally lost weight. I think it was 8 pounds from Thanksgiving through Christmas. I mean, I always put on at least 10 pounds weight gain. And that's another thing that, I try to remind myself or tell myself, it's not just that I lost 8 pounds. It's that I didn't gain 10. So it's really at 18-pound net positive at that point. Something to really, really take into account, because a lot of people are not very happy with how much weight they've lost. Or, look, slow and steady works. And it's still something to be proud of. So I try to do the deficit at 7,000 calories per week, but so I play around with the calories for the week as opposed to daily, just because I don't want to deprive myself of those holidays, those birthdays, those get-togethers. And you know how many years, my entire life, I spent where a birthday party becomes you feel like a freak, right? You're the guy that can only have meat. I can't have cake. Sorry, son. I know it's your birthday, but I can't have your cake. Or I know it's my birthday and I can't have cake on my birthday. So make me an egg and a steak cake. I've lived like that most of my life, where either I feel bad because I'm in some crazy diet where I can't partake in normal, everyday human, celebration, or I'm the guy that's pigging out at my own birthday or somebody else's birthday, and I know that everybody's looking like, holy crap, man, he just ate all that. Dang, you just ate all that, so. But things are changed. Things have changed. All right, so one more meal, then the apple, and that wraps up a day in the life. A day in the life of GLP-1 medication. So, all right, we'll see you one more time today. All right, I told you that I was going to eat the same food probably that I ate for lunch again, but the wife came home and she fixed white rice with ground beef and broccoli. So this is what I'm having. I will put it in the app as well, and hopefully the macros are good. They should be. This is really healthy, so looks delicious. But I'm gonna eat, and then I got the apple about, yeah, it's pretty late already. I shouldn't be eating this late, but once in a while it happens. I try to eat before 6, but it's 7:17. So I'll probably have the apple in about an hour after I shower and get into comfy PJs. And that's going to wrap up the day. That's pretty much it for the day in the life of a GLP-1 or a person taking GLP-1. All right, we'll see you tomorrow or the following day.